To quote Christopher Hitchens, there are encouraging signs of polarization. It'd be interesting to see what the public views more favorably in a poll, police or journalists. I think it might be a close match. But what you want to do is not just contact, the New York Times, or the Washington Post, or ABC News, or NBC. That's going to be the wrong approach, just contacting the media company in general. It's either going to be seen by some press relations person, somebody answering a random email, or somebody that has no power to do with your story or what you're telling them. It's going to kind of end up in the great void of bureaucracy. And what you want to do is you want to, go straight to the source and make sure whatever you want to tell the journalist is actually heard and carried forward, right? Whatever you want to tell the press is that actually makes it to the people that can do something about it in the press. Even if you have a story about, let's say you found a bug with Apple's FaceTime, and you want to alert the larger public about the bug. Just tweeting at Apple is going to go into the great void of the bureaucracy of the company. You have to be a little more tactical. And the best way to do this is to pick the press or media company you want to contact. And this doesn't even have to be political. Let's say, you've discovered a bug on an iPhone, right? And it causes you to be able to hear people's FaceTime conversations, which is in the news as of late. So let's say you discovered this bug. And you're like, oh, more people should know about this. This is a major problem. So don't just tweet at Apple or don't just tweet at Facebook to say, hey, there's a problem. Nothing's going to happen. The people that are monitoring those accounts, they have no power to move your story or your bit of information up the line. So we'll take our FaceTime example again. You found a bug in FaceTime. Rather than tweeting at Apple or just emailing, going to apple.com and just emailing whatever email address you find, here's what you want to do. You want to think about, okay, what's my subject matter? Okay. It has something to do with FaceTime, it has to do with Apple, it has to do with iPhone. So, okay, it's tech related. And then think about, what are, big press, media organizations that deal with technology. The Verge, Recode, the technology desk on the New York Times, right? So you're honing in on, a specific piece in the media, like a specific vertical or brand. So then what you want to do is not just tweet or email Recode or The Verge or the New York Times, right? You then go to their website, go to Recode's website or go to the New York Times website and go to their tech sector, go to their tech column and look at all the reporters that are under that masthead and the stories they've done. Once you found that, find the reporter that's covered the closest to what your topic is about. Right? So if you find a specific reporter that's covering stuff that has to do with the newest iPhone launch, and they've written an article about it on the New York Times, find that reporter in particular on their website. Find their email address. If they don't have their email address listed, find their Twitter, account. If they don't have their Twitter account listed, just get a hold of their name and search in Google, and type in their name, Twitter, boom, and you'll find it. Then, once you have a person you've honed in on, right, what you want to do is if you're forced to contact them through Twitter, ping them on Twitter and be persistent if they don't respond right away. Say, hey, I have an interesting piece of information on the Apple. I've discovered something. Can you follow me back so I can DM you if they don't have DMs open? And if they don't respond, tweet them again and again and again and again. They'll see it and they'll listen. If you go right into a specific individual, like a specific tech reporter's Twitter account, they're much more likely to go, hey, what's this about? And hear you out. And then they are the ones that will have the power to write up the story, contact you on the phone, and get that down the line within the media company to get that story out. That is your best approach. And let's say, they're not responding to Twitter and you don't have an email. What do you do? Well, first, try it with a couple different people. Go to the tech person that's covering iPhones at Business Insider, the tech person that's covering iPhones on New York Times, the tech person that's covering iPhones for Vox. Find that specific person and on each of those media companies and reach out to them. And let's say they're not getting back to you. Here's what you do. You then guess at their emails, and it's pretty easy to guess emails. You find their name, right? You find the company they work for, and you just go down the line because basically here's the secret on all company emails. It's always at the company's name and then their first and last name, right? It's either going to be the letter in their last name and then the company, or their first name dot last name at the company. So you'll find, John Smith at The Verge, and he's the tech reporter, and he's not responding on Twitter, and there's no email contact information. That's fine. You write up an email and you go, urgent, about an iPhone bug, contacting, reporter. That's the headline of the email. And then you, in your email to your emailing, you're guessing, but I guarantee you're gonna hit the target with these darts in the dark. You type in john.smith@vox.com, john.smith@verge.com, jsmith@vox.com, jsmith@verge.com, and just put on all of those username registers in like a Gmail account, and then hit send. And Google will flag it if it's like, it was unable to deliver, this is not a real email address. But I guarantee you one of those is controlled by the company, and that is, that reporter's or journalist's email address. And they'll get back to you. Also, just in terms of if you really want to get your story out and you want to attract attention, there's certain ways of crafting stories. And I can make a larger video about, like, let's say you found a reporter and they're not biting on the story that you think is really important. There's ways to craft your message that can go a long way in getting the reporter to bite. This is why, just like congressmen and lobbyists, they kind of just swirl around each other, because former Congress members make great lobbyists because they know how laws are passed and they know everybody in Congress. So it's kind of just a little incestuous pool. Well, former reporters make great PR people and press relations people because they know how to get reporters to tell stories. And it's the same little circle back and forth. And there's ways to structure that. But the best way to structure it is to just, do not bury your lead. Put it right up top in one sentence what the issue is, and then say, like, call me, or I can explain more. But tell them what it is. Say, like, there is a bug on the iPhone that is allowing FaceTime to record calls unbeknownst to the user. I have more info, and then a phone number. That will get the attention of the journalist. So there you go. That's my thought for the morning, guys. That's how you contact a journalist. That's the best, most effective way of getting your story out there to the public if you really want to get at a journalist. Hopefully that's some useful information. Anyway, just a thought for you guys. If you want to watch another video, here, there, somewhere, let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about, or let me know why you subscribed. Have a good morning.